first one. The principal solutions of the equation sin 2x plus cos 2x equal to 0, where pi less than x less than 2 pi are. Let us write down the given equation carefully. We have got sin of 2x plus cos of 2x equal to 0. And they are saying that x lies between pi and 2 pi. So we should not consider any solution which is in the first or the second quadrant, because in the problem they have specifically said that x should be in the range pi and 2 pi. Now in some of the questions we are required to divide by the ratios sin cos. So we need to make sure that as far as the problem is concerned, if you are dividing, then whichever ratio you are using as the divisor, it should not be 0. So let us consider in a hypothetical case that sin of 2x is 0. Okay. Now if sin of 2x is 0, can cos of 2x ever be equal to 0? No, because sin squared x or sin squared 2x plus cos squared 2x is equal to 1. Okay, and vice versa. Both of them cannot be 0 simultaneously. That is the main assumption here. So we will now rearrange the terms and say that okay, sin of 2x is minus cos of 2x, or tan of 2x is minus 1. What is the assumption? The assumption is cos of 2x is not equal to 0. Correct? And we know that if cos of 2x is 0, then sin of 2x cannot be 0 simultaneously. So there is no such angle with cos of 2x 0 which satisfies this equation. Well, now if tan of 2x is 0, if tan of 2x is minus 1, in which two quadrants do you expect to have the solutions of this tan of the angle being minus 1? Either in the second quadrant where tan is negative, or in the fourth quadrant where tan is negative. Okay. Now if it is 1 or minus 1, it has to be a multiple of pi by 4. So here it is 3 pi by 4 and this angle is 7 pi by 4. Correct? Now what are the solutions? Principal solutions. Remember, when we say 3 pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4, these are not the values that x is taking. These are the values which the blue bracket here is taking. म्हणजे आता 2x equal to काय होईल आपलं 3 pi by 4 or 7 pi by 4? Yes. Then what we should do is we should also write down the arithmetic progression. Okay. So the next one will be, next one in the queue, 3 pi by 4 plus 2 pi or 11 pi by 4. Then the next one would be 19 pi by 4. Okay, just add 2 pi to 11 pi by 4 and you have to continue this. Same thing with 7 pi by 4. If you add 2 pi to this, 7 pi by 4 plus 2 pi, you will get 15 pi by 4. Yes. And then if you add 2 pi to 15 pi by 4, you will get 23 pi by 4 and so on. But these are the values of 2x. So if we were to obtain the values of x, you should divide them by 2. So what will the values of x be now? 3 pi by 8, then 11 pi by 8, 19 pi by 8. Now ignore 19 pi by 8 because it is greater than 2 pi. Ignore 3 pi by 8 because it is less than pi, and as per the problem x cannot be less than pi. Okay? So 11 pi by 8 is the only solution that we have got, and 11 pi by 8 is absent in B and D, so it has to be either A or C. But look at A. A contains 7 pi by 8 as the other option. Does it lie in the range which is expected? No, 7 pi by 8 is still less than pi, so C is the right option. Let's check. आता 7 pi by 4 कडे जाऊ. If we divide 7 pi by 4 by 2, you will get 7 pi by 8. But see, although this is a principal solution, why should we ignore it? We should ignore it because 7 pi by 8 is less than pi. So A is not the valid option. See, A is not valid only because this part exists in the question, where x is greater than pi but less than 2 pi. What's the next one? 15 pi by 8. Next one 23 pi by 8, which is greater than 2 pi, so ignore it. Actually, how many principal solutions are there? 3 pi by 8 is one of them. 11 pi by 8 is the second one. 7 pi by 8 is the third one. And 15 pi by 8 is the fourth one. But out of these 4 solutions, we should consider only the second one and the third one because, oh sorry, not 7 pi by 8, just a second. Second one and the fourth one, because these lie in the range specified in the problem. So it is 11 pi by 8 and 15 pi by 8, or option C. Question 2. The general solution of the equation tan squared x equal to 1 is, given equation is tan squared x equal to 1. If tan squared x equals 1, then tan x can be plus 1 or tan x can also be minus 1. Yes. What are the principal solutions of tan of x equal to 1? Let me show them in red color. Pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4. Okay. Then, what are the solutions of tan x equal to minus 1? Let me show them in blue color. We first have 3 pi by 4. And then we have 7 pi by 4. So did you now observe that all these 4 solutions can be written as 0 plus or minus pi by 4, covering pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4, because 7 pi by 4 is as good as saying minus pi by 4. And the other two are pi plus or minus pi by 4. Pi plus pi by 4 is 5 pi by 4. Pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4. And then from 0, if you go to 2 pi plus or minus pi by 4, you'll again get these two. Okay, pi by 4 and minus pi by 4. If you go to 3 pi plus or minus pi by 4, then you will get 3 pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4 again. Okay, so what is the observation? The general solution is n pi plus or minus pi by 4. Okay, that is option C. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल की D का correct नहीं है? See, D is not right because here we are considering 2n pi. So the first will be when n is 0 plus or minus pi by 4, that's fine. These two. But now you are directly jumping to n equal to 1 or 2 pi plus or minus pi by 4. So which two solutions did you miss? You missed 3 pi by 4 as well as 5 pi by 4, and that is the reason D is not right. आणि A आणि B तर करेक्ट नाहीच आहेत, कारण A मध्ये कुठलं सोल्युशन कन्सिडर करत नाहीये आपण मायनस पाय बाय 4. It's only n pi plus pi by 4, and in B, which is the solution that's not being considered, plus pi by 4 and related solutions, because it is always n pi minus pi by 4. So option C. Question 3. The number of principal solutions of tan 2 theta equal to 1 is. Which solutions have been asked? Principal solutions. So those solutions which fall in the interval 0 and 2 pi. Remember that we are finding the solutions for theta now, not 2 theta. Now if tan of 2 theta is equal to 1, what are the principal solutions of this tan of any angle equal to 1? There are two of them. In the first quadrant, pi by 4, or in the third quadrant, 5 pi by 4. Yes. Keep on adding 2 pi. Pi by 4 plus 2 pi will be 9 pi by 4. And then 9 pi by 4 plus 2 pi will be 17 pi by 4, and so on. Let's go to 5 pi by 4 now. Next is 5 pi by 4 plus 2 pi. So 13 pi by 4. And then you will have 13 pi by 4 plus 2 pi. That will be 21 pi by 4. But these are the solutions of 2 theta. Okay, we want theta, so divide by 2. So theta's solutions are pi by 8, 5 pi by 8. Okay, then we have 9 pi by 8 and 13 pi by 8. Then we have 17 pi by 8, but observe that 17 pi by 8 is greater than 16 pi by 8. But what is 16 pi by 8? 2 pi. So should we consider 17 pi by 8 as a principal solution? No. It is a general solution, mind you, but it is not a principal solution because it does not fall in this range. And no question about 21 pi by 4 because it is still greater than 17 pi by 4. So how many principal solutions? 4. Pi by 8, 9 pi by 8, 5 pi by 8 and 13 pi by 8. Option D. Let's quickly verify our answer graphically. First, the function y equal to tan 2x. Let us just plot the vertical line x equal to 2 pi. And yes, alright, it's here. And we want tan 2x to take the value 1, so y equal to 1. Let's begin to see where the orange line intersects the blue curve y equal to tan 2x. First is pi by 8, 5 pi by 8, 9 pi by 8, 13 pi by 8. This is the 2 pi point, and the solution which comes after that, 17 pi by 8, is greater than 2 pi, so cannot be called as a principal solution. So is our answer right? Yes, our answer is right because we have got the same 4 solutions: pi by 8, 5 pi by 8, 9 pi by 8, this one, and 13 pi by 8, this one. So there are 4 principal solutions. Question 4. Let's read it carefully. If 2 into sine of theta plus pi by 3 is equal to cos of theta minus pi by 6, then tan theta is equal to. Now in this problem, you are first required to expand the left hand side and the right hand side using sine of a plus b and cos of a minus b. So you will get 2 into sine theta cos pi by 3, which is 1 by 2, plus 2 into, see, don't forget to multiply the second term by 2 as well, cos theta sine pi by 3. Do the same thing to the right hand side, but this time we don't have 2 there. Okay, so it is simply cos a cos b, cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2, plus sin a sin b, sin theta into 1 by 2. Alright, now cancel 2, and what is asked? We wish to find tan theta. So आपल्याला आता काय करावं लागेल? We need to get everything that contains sine on one side. So let's do that. Let's keep sin theta here. 1 minus 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. Yes. Equal to. Let's now send everything that contains cos to the right hand side. Okay. So it will be cos of theta into bracket root 3 by 2 minus root 3, or it will be minus root 3 by 2. Okay. Therefore tan theta equals, we have minus root 3 by 2 divided by 1 upon 2. This term will go there now, and cos will come in the denominator of sine. Okay, so we'll get tan on the left and minus root 3 on the right hand sides. Do we have it? Yes, option D. The number of solutions of the equation sin x plus sin 3x plus sin 5x equal to 0 in the interval pi by 2 comma 3 pi by 2 is. We note that this interval is a closed interval. So pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 are included in the set. Option A 2, option B 3, option C 4 and option D 5. Our first job will be to write down the given equation, but let us shift the term sin 3x to the other side. So we will get sin x plus sin 5x equal to minus sin 3x. Then we will use the formula sin c plus sin d. Therefore 2 sin c plus d by 2, x plus 5x is 6x, 6x upon 2 3x, cos c minus d by 2, x minus 5x is minus 4x, minus 4x upon 2 is minus 2x, equal to minus sin 3x. This gives two possibilities. Possibility 1, sin 3x equals 0. Possibility 2, sin of 3x not equal to 0. So we can cancel the terms. So to consider this possibility, what we are going to do is we are going to cut these two terms, sin 3x, assuming that it is not equal to 0, because if sin 3x were equal to 0, then there is no need to consider the remaining two terms, or also there is no need to divide, because you cannot divide by 0. So if sin of 3x is not equal to 0, but still we have 2 sin 3x cos of minus 2x equal to minus sin 3x, we can cancel sin 3x and we'll get 2 into cos of minus 2x. Now cos of minus theta is cos theta, because cos is an even function of x. So it will be 2 cos 2x equal to minus 1, because we have cancelled sin 3x, or cos of 2x equal to minus 1 upon 2. So we have now got two equations with us. The first equation is sin of 3x equal to 0, and the second equation is cos of 2x equal to minus 1 upon 2. First equation is very easy to solve. If sin of any angle is 0 or sin of some unknown angle is 0, that angle is an integral multiple of pi. So 3x is n pi, where n is any integer. So x will be equal to n pi by 3. Therefore x equals 0, pi by 3, 2 pi by 3, pi, 4 pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, 2 pi, and so on. Again an arithmetic progression. We are not considering the negative integers. Why? Because the least value of the solution can be pi by 2. So even if we had not written 0 and pi by 3, that was okay. So we have got one set, okay, and in this set, it is an infinite set. How many elements belong to the interval pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2? The first one is 2 pi by 3, because 2 pi by 3 is 120 degrees. Then pi, 180 degrees. Then 4 pi by 3, which is 240 degrees. 5 pi by 3 is 300, which falls outside the range, because 3 pi by 2 is 270 degrees and 5 pi by 3 is 300, which falls outside the range. So there are only 3 solutions for sine 3x equal to 0 in the range pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Let us now solve cos of 2x equal to minus 1 by 2. Let me solve it here. If cos of 2x is minus 1 by 2, what values can 2x take? Cos is negative in the second and the third quadrants. So the solution in the second quadrant is going to be 2 pi by 3. And the solution in the fourth quadrant is going to be 4 pi by 3. Here we are using the allied angles property. Cos of pi plus theta is minus cos theta. And cos of pi minus theta is also minus cos theta. Okay. And you have to take theta as pi by 3. Because cos pi by 3 is 1 upon 2. Again, let us add 2 pi to them. So the next one in this list with 2 pi by 3 is going to be 2 pi by 3 plus 2 pi. So that will be 8 pi by 3. Then the next one is 8 pi by 3 plus 2 pi. So that is 14 pi by 3 and so on. Then let us go to this list. 4 pi by 3. Again add 2 pi to this. So we will have 4 pi by 3 plus 2 pi, which is going to be 10 pi by 3. The next one is 16 pi by 3 and so on. Okay. So again we have got 2 arithmetic progressions. But these are the solutions for 2x. Okay. What we want is, we want solutions of x. So what is our job now? Now our job is to divide the elements which belong to these two sets by 2 so that we will get x. First is 2 pi by 3. If you divide it by 2, you will get pi by 3. Second is 8 pi by 3. If you divide it by 2, you will get 8 pi by 6 or 4 pi by 3. Next, 14 pi by 3. If you divide it by 2, you will get 7 pi by 3. But 7 pi by 3 is greater than 2 pi, so we will not consider that. Then let us go to the following list. 4 pi by 3. Divided by 2, so you will get 4 pi by 6 or 2 pi by 3, comma. Next is 10 pi by 3. If you divide it by 2, what will the answer be? 5 pi by 3. Note that 5 pi by 3 is 300 degrees, which is greater than 270. So again, that is outside our range. So let's now pick those solutions among these which belong or which fall in the interval pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. Is pi by 3 in the list? No, definitely not, because it is less than pi by 2. Is 4 pi by 3 in the list? Yes, because 4 pi by 3 is equal to 240 degrees, which is greater than 90 but less than 270. Is 7 pi by 3 in the list? No, because it is greater than 2 pi. 7 pi is greater than 6 pi. So 7 pi by 3 should be greater than 6 pi by 3 or 2 pi. So no need to consider that. Next, 2 pi by 3. It is in the range pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 because 2 pi by 3 is 120 degrees. Okay. Next we have 5 pi by 3. But how much is 5 pi by 3? It is 300. Right? Because pi by 3 is 60. 60 into 5, 300. Again, that is greater than 270. So we are not going to consider that. So how many solutions did we get for cos of 2x equal to minus 1 upon 2? 2 solutions. 4 pi by 3 and 2 pi by 3. So you may be tempted to mark 5 as the correct option. Because in our first equation sin 3x equal to 0 we got 3. But did you notice that there are two solutions which are common? On solving the first equation, we got 2 pi by 3, 4 pi by 3 and pi. And on solving the second equation, cos of 2x equal to minus 1 upon 2, we got 4 pi by 3 as well as 2 pi by 3. Okay, so these are the two solutions which are common with the first one, so they should not be counted twice. They should be counted only once. So how many solutions? First, second and third. So do we have that option? Yes, the correct option is B. Let's now check our answer graphically. First, let us plot the function sin x plus sin 3x plus sin 5x. We would like to plot it in the interval pi by 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3 pi by 2. Okay, and we have the equation sin x plus sin 3x plus sin 5x equal to 0. So we should consider the points of intersection of this curve with the x-axis, which are 2 pi by 3 comma 0, pi comma 0 and 4 pi by 3 comma 0. So the solutions that we obtained in our analytical method or by our analytical method were 2 pi by 3 pi and 4 pi by 3, 2 pi by 3 pi and 4 pi by 3. So our answer is correct, option B. Now we will check whether cos 2x equal to minus 1 by 2 and sin 3x equal to 0 indeed have the same solutions as we have got them here. First is cos of 2x plus 1 upon 2 equal to 0. Okay, there is no need to plot. Now we would like to consider this graph again in the same range. Yes. Now if I zoom in, you observe that this graph intersects the x-axis twice. Okay, in the range pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. The first intersection, the first point of intersection is 2 pi by 3 and the second point of intersection is 4 pi by 3. At pi, its value is 3 by 2. Now let us go to the second equation, which says sin 3x equal to 0. So it is enough if we plot just sin 3x in the interval pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Okay. Now let us focus on the pink graph. Let me hide the orange graph. Now pink graph intersects the x-axis again at the same 3 points, 2 pi by 3, pi and 4 pi by 3, where the blue graph, the original graph, intersected the x-axis. The thing which I want you to observe is this. Let us hide the original graph. So these are the two individual equations that we have solved. Cos 2x equal to minus 1 by 2, sin 3x equal to 0. And equal to 0 means we should consider their points of intersection with x-axis. In the interval pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, there are two common solutions, 2 pi by 3 and 4 pi by 3, where the pink graph of sin 3x and the orange graph of cos 2x plus 1 by 2 intersect each other, as well as they intersect x-axis. They also intersect here, but we are not interested in that point. And the third solution which we obtained was pi, where the sin 3x's graph intersects the x-axis but not cos 2x. Okay, so these two equations individually have 2 and 3 solutions respectively, but as two of them are identical, the number of solutions to our original equation is only 3. So that completes our trigonometric equations. So this is question 1 on properties of triangle from CET. In triangle ABC, a minus b bracket squared into cos squared c by 2 plus a plus b bracket squared into sin squared c by 2 is equal to, okay, clearly based on half angle formulas. Yes. So we have to quickly write down the formulas for sin c by 2 and cos of c by 2. Let's go back to that slide. Yeah, this one. Okay, now we are in a position to write down for c. Okay. So sin c by 2 will be root of s minus a into s minus b upon ab, and cos of c by 2 will be root of s into s minus c upon ab. Okay. So the given expression in the problem will be a minus b bracket squared into cos squared c by 2 s into s minus c upon ab plus a plus b bracket squared into sin c by 2 s minus a into s minus b upon ab. Now we have to simplify this. Let's take the denominator ab. Now we have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared into s minus c plus a squared plus 2ab plus b squared into s minus a into s minus b equal to. If you find that the expression or the simplification process is going to take a lot of time, what we can do is we can pick a particular example where we already know the sides a, b and c and thereby come up with the correct option. See, now we should pick that triangle whose half angle formulas are known. So we can pick the 30, 60, 90. Definitely. Okay. And if we pick c as 60, then do we already know c by 2, 30 degrees? And more importantly, we know cos c by 2 and sin c by 2. So let's now draw the triangle accordingly. 90, 30, 60. Now which angle is 60? It is C. We can take this as A and angle B as 90 degrees. Okay. Now let us assume that the hypotenuse is 1 unit. So side opposite to 30 degrees is half of the hypotenuse. Side opposite to 60 degrees is root 3 by 2 times the hypotenuse. Okay. Let's go to the given expression. A minus B bracket square. How much is A? 1 by 2? Yes. How much is B? 1 bracket square. Cos squared C by 2, which is cos squared 30, 3 by 4, plus A plus B bracket square into sin squared C by 2, 1 by 4. So this is now 1 by 2 minus 1. So that is again minus 1 by 2 squared. So 1 by 4 into 3 by 4, 3 by 16 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2. 3 by 2 squared is 9 by 4. And 9 by 4 into 1 by 4 will be 9 by 16. So this is 12 by 3, 12 by 16 or 3 by 4. Okay, now we need to pick that option which gives us 3 by 4. What is B squared in our case? 1. C squared 3 by 4. So it is C squared. Is A squared the correct one? No. A squared is 1 by 4. And addition of A squared, B squared and C squared, which is 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4, that is 2. So clearly that is not right. So the correct option is B. So here what did we achieve? We got the solution. If we were to solve this problem in the board paper, could we use this method? No, we could not use this method. We could use it only in the CET or in any other multiple choice question examination. Okay? In board, you may be required to simplify this by putting S as A plus B plus C by 2 and so on. Okay? So we have avoided it completely. We have picked a particular example and see if this result is true for any triangle, it has to be true for our particular example. And this is where your practice of solving different multiple choice questions and different techniques that will come into picture. Okay. So now the homework for you is to solve the same problem analytically. The expansion which we did not even bother to continue. You have to solve this one as homework, and what will the final answer is going to be? The final answer is going to be A squared plus B squared plus C squared. So this is your homework. Okay? Let's go to the next question. If A, B and C are angles of a triangle ABC, then cot A into cot B plus cot B into cot C plus cot C into cot A is equal to 0, 1, 2 or minus 1. Again, should we spend a lot of time in simplifying this by using the sine rule, cosine rule and the projection rule? No, not required at all. Okay. See, if this property is true for all triangles, it will be true for any triangle. Okay, so this time let's take 45, 45, 90. Easier, okay. Let's name the angles ABC. Cot of A into cot of B, 1 into 1. Cot B into cot C, 0, because C is 90, plus cot of C, again 0, 90 degrees, into cot of A, 1. So what is the final answer? 1. So we have cleverly used this particular example to come up with our answer. Okay, because if it is valid for all triangles, it should be valid for any triangle. Now you can even pick a 3, 4, 5 triangle, but this will be more time consuming. Let us just verify it. So here what is tan of A? Tan of A is 4 by 3, so cot of A would be 3 by 4. Cot of B 90, so cot B 0, and cot of C must be 4 by 3. So again, the only two terms will come into picture, cot A into cot C. Because A and C are reciprocals of each other, it will be 1. And because B is the right angle, this will be 0 and this will also be 0. So 1 is the option, or 1 is the right answer, that is option B. Question 3. In triangle ABC, with usual notations, if A, B, C are in arithmetic progression, then A into cos squared C by 2 plus C into cos squared A by 2 is equal to. Now here they are saying that A, B, C are in arithmetic progression, so B must be equal to A plus C by 2. Now even this problem can be solved by our particular example method, so let us try doing that. This time what we are required to do is, we are required to pick that triplet of ABC such that ABC are in arithmetic progression. We know the angles, well, we know the triangle 3, 4, 5. Are the sides in arithmetic progression? Yes. 3, 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2. Okay, so the sides are in arithmetic progression, but we have to name them carefully. Let's take B to be 4. See, now we have two options with us. Which two? either we can take 3 as A and 5 as C, or we can take 3 as C and 5 as A. Now which one will be more convenient, or will both of them fare equally? Let's check. In the sum we have cos squared C by 2 as well as cos squared A by 2. Okay, so one of them will be the right angle and the other one will not be. Okay, so that's fine. Let's adopt the blue system. Okay, so this point or this vertex will be C, this vertex will be B, and this vertex will be A. So side opposite to A is the hypotenuse. Let me erase the red thing. Alright, now if A is 90 degrees, A by 2 will be 45. Yes. So what will cos squared A by 2 be? Cos A by 2 is 1 by root 2, so cos squared A by 2 will be 1 by 2. Now we need to find out cos squared C by 2, so we recall the following half angle formula. 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos squared theta by 2. Okay, so what will cos squared C by 2 be equal to? Cos squared C by 2 will be equal to 1 plus cos of C divided by 2. Do we know cos C? Yes, this is angle C. Cos C will be 4 by 5 adjacent upon hypotenuse divided by 2. So it will be 9 by 10. So the given expression will be equal to A into cos squared C by 2. How much is A? 5. 5 into cos squared C by 2. Cos squared C by 2 is 9 by 10. Plus C, how much is C? 3. Into cos squared A by 2 is 1 by 2. So this is now 9 by 2 plus 3 by 2, or 12 by 2, or 6. So for the right triangle 3, 4, 5 with the given choice of angles ABC, the given expression evaluates to 6. Now let us find the values of all 4 options. Option A is 15 by 2 because A is 5, so not right. Let's go to option B. 3 into 3 by 2, so 9 by 2, not right. Let's go to option C. 3 into 4 by 2, 6. So C is right. Let's verify that D is not right. 3 by 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Will it be 6? No. I think it will be 90. Yes. So which is the right option? That option which gives us 6, and that is option C. Yeah, so that completes this properties of triangle part from my side. If you want the practice MCQs on this topic, please let me know. Question 1. Let's read the question. If 2 tan inverse of cos x is equal to tan inverse of 2 cosec x, then sin x plus cos x is equal to. We start simplifying the left hand side, which is 2 tan inverse of cos x. And we are going to use the formula, this one. Tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y is equal to tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. There are other variants of this as well, but now why should we use xy less than 1 and not xy greater than 1? We have cos x. Can cos x ever be greater than 1? No. So if we have two things well, in this case the same, cos. Can their product be greater than 1? Never. Okay, so the first formula and not the second one. So we will get tan inverse of 2 cos x upon 1 minus cos squared x. But this is equal to tan inverse of cosec x that is given in the problem. So we now have 2 cos x upon sine squared x equal to 1 upon sine x. We can cancel sine, which gives us, oh sorry, I forgot to write 2 here. 2 will also get cancelled. So we will get tan of x equal to 1 or cos of x upon sine of x equal to 1, which implies that x is equal to pi by 4. Sin x plus cos x will be equal to 1 upon root 2 plus 1 upon root 2 or 2 by root 2 or root of 2. That is option B. Okay, let me explain this one more time. We have used the formula only in the first step. Okay, which formula did we use? This one. If both are positive and xy less than 1, then tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y is tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. In this case, both x and y were equal to cos x. So x plus y became 2 cos x and 1 minus xy became 1 minus cos squared x. This was equal to tan inverse of 2 cosec x. I had forgotten this 2 earlier. Now if tan inverse of a number is equal to tan inverse of some other number, we have noted that these functions are 1, 1 and onto. So these two numbers must be same, in this case the angles. So we have 2 cos x upon sine squared x, 1 minus cos squared x is sine squared x, our identity, equal to 2 cosec x. Cancel sine, cancel 2, we get cot of x or cos upon sine of x equal to 1. Tan x equal to 1 because tan is the reciprocal of cot, which implies that x is pi by 4. The given expression was this, sin x plus cos x, use sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4, which will be 2 by root 2 or root 2, hence option B. Next question. This is also a very straightforward example, let's do it. First is tan inverse of root 3. Now we have to now recall the angle whose tan is root 3. Which angle is that? That angle is pi by 3. So tan inverse of root 3 will be pi by 3 minus. Now we have sec inverse of minus 2. We have to now carefully get that angle which falls in the proper range. Okay, so let us go back for a moment to sec inverse. It is here. Okay. And we want sec inverse of minus 2. Now did you observe that the range of sec inverse, the chosen range is this, right? 0 to pi minus pi by 2. So if at all we are looking for an angle whose sec is minus 2, in which quadrant should we look? The second quadrant. Because in the second quadrant both cos and sec are negative. So basically we are looking for that angle whose cos is minus 1 upon 2, because sec and cos are reciprocals of each other in the second quadrant. So which angle has cos minus 1 by 2 in the second quadrant? 2 pi by 3. Correct? Cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So the answer to sec inverse of minus 2 is 2 pi by 3 upon. Let's now go to cosec inverse of minus root of 2. Again go back to cosec inverse. Okay, this one. What is the chosen range? Closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 excluding 0. Do we have the negative ratio? Yes, our ratio is negative. So what does that imply? That implies that we should look for angle in the fourth quadrant whose sine is minus 1 upon root 2. Okay. So do we have that angle? Yes, it is minus pi by 4. Plus, now the last one, cos inverse of minus 1 by 2. Well, once we do the sec inverse, we can easily get cos inverse now. Why? Even for cos inverse, the chosen range is 0 to pi. Okay, so if at all we have a negative ratio, it must be in the range, in the interval pi by 2 to pi, because in the second quadrant cos is negative. So cos inverse of minus 1 by 2 will again be 2 pi by 3. We have to now carefully perform the subtraction. We can cancel pi. So we have 1 upon 3 minus 2 upon 3 in the numerator, which is minus 1 upon 3, divided by cosec inverse of minus root 2 is minus pi by 4 plus 2 by 3. So it is minus 3 plus 8 divided by 12, minus 1 upon 3 upon 5 upon 12, or it will be minus 1 by 3 into 12 by 5, or minus 4 by 5. Do we have it? Yes, that is option B. So this question is completely based on this chart. I have observed that many people are very well familiar to the domain and the range of trigonometric functions. But when it comes to inverse trigonometric functions, they seem to be a bit confused. They tend to take the range of sine inverse as 0 to pi, the range of tan inverse as closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and so on. So this chart is extremely important, and that is the reason why I have given you this homework, to classify each and every inverse trigonometric function into this list, so that it will also help you in calculus. Okay, we had completed question 2. Let's go to question 3. The value of cos inverse of cot pi by 2 is 0 plus cos inverse of sine 2 pi by 3. How can we find sine 2 pi by 3? Sine 2 pi by 3 is equal to sine of pi minus pi by 3. By using the allied angles formula, sine of pi minus theta is sine theta. How much is sine pi by 3? Root 3 by 2. Yes, root 3 by 2. What is cos inverse of 0? Pi by 2. This is in the range 0 to pi. Okay. Plus, what is cos inverse of root 3 by 2 now? It is pi by 6. Yes. Again in the range 0 to pi. What will the answer be? 6, 3 pi plus pi. 4 pi by 6 or 2 pi by 3. A quick check. Pi by 2 is 90 degrees. Pi by 6 is 30 degrees. Addition gives you 150. Oh, sorry, 120. 120, sorry. Addition is 120. Pi by 3 is 60. So 2 pi by 3 is 120. See, now we could have also skipped the addition part. This is the way to do it. If we are adding two angles, pi by 2 and pi by 6, both are positive, and one of them equal to pi by 2, can we ever have pi by 2 as the answer? No. And can we have an answer which is less than pi by 2? No. Okay. Now what is pi? Pi is pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Okay. But here we have pi by 2 plus pi by 6. So it has to be less than pi. So the only option that we are left with is 2 pi by 3 or A. Question 4. If tan inverse of 2x plus tan inverse of 3x is pi by 4, then x is equal to. Again, the same formula that we used in the first question. LHS will be tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Now if tan inverse of this expression is pi by 4, that expression, which is 5x upon 1 minus 6x squared, must be equal to tan pi by 4. Yes. And what is tan pi by 4? 1. Let's now cross multiply. 5x will be equal to 1 minus 6x squared. Bring everything to the left hand side. 6x squared plus 5x minus 1 equal to 0. Factorize 5 or split 5. Not factorize, split. How to split 5? We have to split it into two numbers whose product is minus 6 and whose sum is 5. Do we have such two numbers? Yes. 6 and minus 1. Sum 5, product minus 6. Okay. So 6x squared minus plus 6x minus x minus 1 equal to 0. 6x into x plus 6, x plus 1 minus 1 into x plus 1 equal to 0. Therefore 6x minus 1 into x plus 1 equal to 0. Therefore either x is 1 upon 6 or x is minus 1. So the correct option is C. Now if instead of minus 1, 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 2, if we had the following options, minus 1 and 1 upon 6, okay, then let's say B were minus 1. Now would you pick option A because it has both the roots of the quadratic equation, 1 upon 6 and minus 1, or will you pick 1 upon 6, or will you pick minus 1? See, that is something which is to be answered if you correctly know the domain of tan inverse. Okay. See, now if the value of x were minus 1, let's say we took it minus 1, so we will get tan inverse of minus 2. Yes. Plus we will get tan inverse of minus 3. Okay. Now can it ever be pi by 4? That is the question that we are trying to answer. Let us go back to our graph of inverse tangent function. Yes, this is the graph of inverse tangent function. What values do we have now? We have tan inverse of minus 2, which is the y coordinate of this point, and this is the point minus 3. Okay, so tan inverse of minus 3 is going to be an angle and that angle will be the y coordinate of this point. Now are these two angles negative? Yes, these two angles are negative. So can their sum ever be pi by 4? No, because addition of two negative numbers, in this case two negative angles, can never be a positive angle. And that is the reason why we should ignore the possibility minus 1. So we should neither pick A nor pick B if at all they were minus 1 and 1 upon 6 and minus 1 respectively. Okay. Why did we reject minus 1? Although it was root of this quadratic equation, it was simply because tan inverse of minus 2 was a negative angle in our identification of the domain and range of tan inverse, and same thing with tan inverse of minus 3. But according to the problem, the right hand side was a positive number, so this is something which is contradictory, so we cannot take minus 1 as the possible value of x, although it is root of the quadratic equation.